G'day everyone, you're watching Kath with a K and I'm Kath. So I'm starting a new project currently where I'm going to be making an EP in 1 week, and my idea of how that's going to work at the moment is to make 1 song a day for 5 days, and then I'm going to have day 6 and 7 to sort of like do any finishing touches, finish and finalize mixing and that sort of thing. There is one caveat in that I need to work and I'm busy with other things in life as well. So this isn't going to be a continuous week. My vision for this EP is for it to basically be a continuation of my first EP, which was Inhale. I'm going to try and make music that is kind of ambient and can be used in the background of videos, especially some of my own videos that I make on my other channel where I make outdoors vlogs. So I'll be using Logic to have their whole synth library. I've got 2 flutes next to me. I grew up playing this kind of flute and it's got keys that are very easy, just like cover the holes completely. And with this, you actually have to be good at covering the holes completely with your fingers. And I'm not good at that. So yeah, if I decide I want to use this, it's going to be slightly slow going. I've got an electric guitar in front of me that I also can't play very well. I've got a keyboard behind me that you can see a little bit of that I can play, so that's useful. And my housemates have a bunch of random percussive instruments, so I sort of just brought some out. I don't see myself using these, but who knows? Maybe I'll want to. I've got a guiro, got a little egg shaker. That's nice, isn't it? 2 tambourines. And I also have a cajon, which I think is the most likely thing that I'm going to use. There's a whole drum kit behind this camera as well, but I think I'm more likely to use a Logic drummer for any drums that I want to have. Also, I did just come back from a trip in Tasmania where I went to Bruny Island and Maria Island, and I've got a bunch of field recordings from there. So I've got like bird noises and the crashing of waves on the beach. And for the vibe I'm going for, I definitely think I will be using these in more than 1 track. So to start off, I did have a look at any like unfinished projects that I have. I have one that has like a few seconds of music, but I actually quite like it. It's kind of like a slow, distorted kind of thing. I haven't started work on any of the other songs, so I feel like this vibe is kind of, you know, slowly evolving, and I haven't really made music like this before, I don't think. I feel like I tend to try to have a lot of things going on and like quick changes and stuff, but you know, this will be something a bit different. And yeah, I'm going to really try and focus on like textures rather than maybe, I don't know, a melody and specific like chords capturing people's attention or something. So what I've got here is, I think what I did was I was just looking through a bunch of different sounds that Logic offers synth-wise, and I really liked this one. It's called Dreamscape, and I just picked 1 note, a D, and I automated this pedal board. Where did I automate the level of? Yeah, so I automated the level of the pedal board so that it starts to actually affect the sound a couple of bars in. So that's what I've got so far, and let's get started. So I've picked out some other sounds that I would like to use. First of all, Airways. I actually use this sound pretty frequently because I really like it, but I usually just use it on the preset because I really like the sound of that. But I think this time I'll just you know, progress the sound more by using all these different like filter settings and distortion and those sorts of things. So this is a bit of Airways. And then I've also picked out Levitation. So I'll probably adjust this media loss here to make it sound smoother over time. And I also screwed around with this tape delay. I'm not actually entirely sure what this state variable does. It probably has something to do with EQ. Yeah, so I like this setting. I might change it as it progresses. No, that was the auto filter, not the delay. Okay, I've put in some automation, and basically I've got a transition to a smooth, airy sound that I think would be a nice like pad to add some flute over the top of. So this is what it transitions into. And now I'm gonna come up with some flute to add on to that. Okay, so I've got the flute in here. I've added 2 reverbs at 100% wet signal. So that it just sounds really spacious. We've got Valhalla Room set to large chamber, and I looked at the Logic Space Designer. I picked one that said Big Cave, 8.5 seconds of release time, which is pretty hectic, but I like the sound of it. And then I put a bit of a compressor on it, or more like a lot of a compressor on it, to just even out the volume of the sound. And it's kind of doing some interesting unnatural effects to it, but I really like it because, you know, this piece, I'm not intending it to sound natural. I want it to just sound, you know, different and evolving and interesting. So this is what the flute sounds like now. So now I'm going to blend it in a bit and do some more automation on that track and the others that are currently going at the same time, and we'll see where we get to. Okay, so I've added a flanger to the flute as well that kind of peaks around the middle of the flute part. I've done some EQ changes on the other channels that are in the background. This is a little bit of what it sounds like. I've added this vocal transformer plugin and just changed the formant just to give it a slightly different sound. It sounds pretty wacky, but it's different. I think now is an appropriate time in the track to add in the final sound that I've picked out. I may add a bit of a vocal at the very end, just like some humming, but I'll see how I feel about this first. Okay, so I've mixed in the Levitation synth, and it's got a few different effects on here, so kind of had them come in at different points, and I've added a couple of note changes to the Dreamscape synth, so it goes back up the octave, which is where it started off at the beginning of the track. So I've realised that now we're up to about 4.5 minutes in. Probably a good time to wrap it up. I'll just add a little vocal just to finish this off. I've also finished a little early for the day, so I'll probably just go through and add finishing touches today already and then just be done with this song. Oh, that latency is fucking me up. Oh my god, does that have to happen right now? And I've compressed it a bit and then run it through another reverb. And now this is what I've got along with the other tracks. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. And now, after I take a little break, I just realised that I totally forgot I made tea, and it's just been sitting there with the tea bag still in it for over an hour, and I have not drunk it, and it is cold and far too strong. So I'm gonna go make tea. Then I'll just have a listen to it through my studio monitors and do some final mixing. So I've been having a listen to what I've got at the moment, and I added in some EQs to almost all of the tracks to cut out a lot of mids because it was very muddy from what I was hearing. And now the track is finished, except for mastering, but I'll be mastering them all at the same time on day 7. So that I can compare volumes between tracks. My current working title for this, I suppose, is Nighttime. I'll see you tomorrow for track number 2.